What's up, everybody? We are back for another Sunday edition. Had a little week off last week getting ready for that All-Star game, but we're back. Tech Money D Gloeck here from the Heat Ratio Sports Network, giving you the MLB's best bets for Sunday, July 24th. Last time we were on, a little cold, but we still gave out 2 or 3 winners, which was enough to at least keep you moving. But today, I'm feeling even better about our picks. Maybe a nice clean sweep. Where are you feeling, Tech?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm on 1 game, 2 picks in there, so I guess I don't know if 2 games is a sweep, but I think I can add 2 on to yours, and we'll just do a big sweep of the card. That's what I'm thinking here.
So is that T on the hat for Tech Money, or is there you trying to show off what we're going with?
Oh, we're showing off today what we're
Let's
going
go
with.
Then.
Yeah, we're showing off with what we're going with. So you want me to start it off?
Yeah, fire it off, brother. To show off what we're.
Yeah, so here's where I'm at today. I'm on the Texas Rangers. And look, a lot of people might just come into this thing looking square. Let's talk about last night, because I've opened up a free Discord room for members. At the moment, I've been traveling a little bit this weekend, so I haven't added more people in, but I'll get to some folks. I know there's been a lot of people asking, but I want to mention this. Last night when I got back, I was at the Pocono Raceway, so I was away from the. I had to check out the venue for the first time. It's an event, man. You guys got to check it out. The power that comes out of these vehicles is just pure, raw, man, and it really, you feel it in your chest. But getting back to this game, last night as I got back into the room, I had chimed in and said, "Oh, look, the Rangers are cheap." Now, I hadn't been in the room all day. The Rangers are cheap. A couple of people chimed in and said, "Yeah, I like them too." We started digging in. Then we found out as 10, 15, 20 minutes left, nothing was official, but we found out that, hey, look, man, Taylor Hearn might be getting a few innings. And I told the room, I said, look, you guys can do whatever you want. I didn't say exactly that, but what I said was, I'm not backing any money on Taylor Hearn. If anything, we attack Taylor Hearn. And I didn't take it. And I looked later this morning, the outcome, Athletics won 3-1. That's not the point. The point comes into today's pick as well, is that the Athletics were given a piece of cake with your favorite dessert on top and extra scooping without being charged right now, right, of the dessert. And they didn't really capitalize on Taylor Hearn. They didn't score on him at all. They didn't do anything to him. They made Taylor Hearn probably, if you look at the box score, look really good. So that comes into today's pick. I do think we have to remind ourselves the Athletics are a very weak offense, because that's the one thing I want to remind everybody, because today, yeah, you face somebody like Perez, but remember, if you can't take care of Taylor Hearn, you can't expect this team to take care of anybody. So just going into some stats, a little backwards here. On base percentage, third lowest in the team for Oakland, 287. WOBA, very low, around 283. ISO, 132. That's very low. 222 team batting average. And here's where it matters. 34% hard hit as a team, very low, 6% barrel percentage. Why does this matter? Because you're in Oakland. This is a pitcher's park. It's very hard to generate power, contact hits, run production, yada, 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 yada. We already know we're past the All-Star game. We've been playing with more of a dead ball for now, a season and a half. That's factual. You can't expect today for this Oakland team to just show up and say, oh, look, we're going to go bashing balls out. Anything happens any given day, especially on any given Sunday. But this is the real story here. And they strike out 22.9% of the time. I wish it was a little higher, but we'll take it there because, again, the offense, their batting, they're just not doing great. Now, I'm going to, again, just rely more on this Oakland team just so we know what this other team's about. Batting on the left and right, they're low, 284 and 283. Facing Perez has one weakness. He's allowing about 335 to the right side. Dude, we're talking about Oakland, and we're talking about at Oakland Stadium. So I put that kind of on a shelf to look at it at the corner of my eye. Say, okay, Perez lets up a lot to the right, but remind myself, this is Oakland. This is where it gets juicy, and this is where I made a lot of money about 16 days ago. I was on a hiatus from the social media. I got my account back up. And boom, I come in with a very heavy Astros bet. It wasn't to seek attention or anything like that. It actually was the fact that I noticed Paul Blackburn was amazing if you looked at it as just ERA. But when he started digging into it, up until this game about 2 weeks ago, his home stats were just horrific. They were very bad. And that's very interesting because, again, Oakland is a pitcher's park. That's very interesting to me. That sticks out. But it also stuck out because at that point, we were all hyping Paul Blackburn up with this low 1 point or maybe around low 2 or under 2 ERA. But yet, if you go check him out at home, he was getting hit up a lot. Yeah, I get it. There were some better teams he's playing at home during that span. But still, even a lot of the better teams don't come out and produce at Oakland overall if you were to go run some metrics, especially, again, when you've got this type of dead ball type of year. So what's interesting now coming into this home game for Paul Blackburn, it's the very next one. But notice he had an away game where he finally rolled over. I think that was more of what we might get to see out of the second half of the season. I'm not here to make a projection on Paul Blackburn. I'm just saying if I had to choose a side, I think we get less of a stud of Blackburn like we may have seen in these away games in the first season, and we see it overall an average or worse type of pitcher, maybe some regression overall. Now, this is where it's interesting. Just to sum it up, home games this year, 6.75 ERA at 34 innings. On his away ERA, 1.88 at 62 innings. This kid's got half the innings at a pitcher's park, but double just of worse, just everything's just worse. It's like, man, what's going on here? With that said, you come into the square stuff, hey, are the Rangers going to sweep here? They've only had one series sweep this year. It's against the Tigers earlier in the year. If you go back and look, it's actually tricky. There's a back-to-back game. So game 1, game 2, back-to-back. Then there were 3 games in a row at one venue. And the 3 games in a row is what the Rangers won, which I'll give them as a sweep, obviously. And they haven't been able to sweep anybody. And when I quickly looked at the schedule, they haven't definitely taken, even if they were looking to bat sweep or do well, they definitely weren't taking their third game. So this is an early game in Cali. I'm just going to stick with some of the, and to sum it up here, you can argue that these two pitchers, if you look at 2022 metrics with these two pitchers, we're talking about K percentage, walk percentage, swinging strike, ground ball, and hard contact. Boom, they're right on top next to each other in the charts today, which you rarely get. Same type of pitcher almost when you look at the overall metrics, but you do get a weaker offensive bat when it comes out the Oakland, which we talked about the metrics there earlier. Also, Oakland projected at the third lowest run total today at 3.31. And the close-up shop here, look, they're batted 284 from the left, 283 from the right. They're not doing that great overall, whereas the Rangers, you get 341 from the left, 306 to the right. And Paul Blackburn is giving up 347 to the left.
Corey Seager
to the right. So there's platoon action going on, but I think there's a little bit of edge with the Rangers being a better offense. And what the heck's up with Blackburn at home? So I'm riding that train right through it.
I love that angle. Listen, the A's have 2 3-game winning streaks this season. Just 2. They don't have a 4. I don't see a 4 coming today. I'm with you. I think the Rangers, they've lost 6 straight to the AL West. They got to break out of this eventually. This is where, listen, their season's just about over. It really is, unless they get going now. They got a little bit of game left, 65 left. So they got to get moving. And I think it starts today. I'm with you. If you went into this weekend and said, I'll bet an Oakland A's sweep, you probably would have got plus 2,000, 3,000. Like something crazy, right? It's crazy for a reason. I don't see it happening. I'm with you. I think you got a good edge on the Blackburn. The Rangers did wake up in the middle of this AL West. They played the Mariners and then the A's, but they had one game against the Marlins in the middle, 1-8-0.
Yep.
The bats are there. I think they can wake up, and I think you got a good angle against Blackburn. I love it. And our boy Dan Green checking in from Heat Ratio. Always. Flyers are nice. Always doing good stuff. Had a lot of stuff to talk about recently, especially with the Flyers passing on some big free agents and making some absolute abysmal trades. But thanks, Dan. Tech, I got another one too.
Let's go.
Well, we talk about fading a sweep. I'm actually going to talk about playing a sweep, and I'm going to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays. They've played the Boston Red Sox over the past 2 days, and they've won by an aggregate of 32-6. The Boston Red Sox have not won a series against an AL East opponent all season. This season, they are 3-9 against Toronto. I mean, it's just to a point now that we really do see two teams going in completely different directions. Toronto, they fired their manager just before the All-Star break, put a little fire under them. While Boston, Now Devers goes on the DL. They really seem to be struggling from a pitching perspective as Chris Sale, who they thought was coming back, goes and breaks his pinky right before the All-Star break in his second start. Whatever could go wrong seems to be going wrong for these Red Sox. And today you roll out Ross Stripling. He's a guy that Tech in years past we probably would like to attack. But a guy this year that's carrying about a 3.7 ERA, well, actually a little less than that, just about 3 ERA. He's had 2 games against Boston this year. His ERA is 2.7, 10 innings, 3 earned runs. He's pitched against them well. He's 1-0. And then what's Boston doing? They're rolling out Bello. Bello is a minor leaguer that came up with some promise from Double-A with, and, a fireballer, they thought. He's had 2 games. Both have gone 4 innings, let up 9 earned runs. He's been hit around hard. I just think we have a really good opportunity, a really wide gap of 2 offenses based upon what Toronto has been doing, what Devers is being out, and 2 pitchers. It's rare that we get those gaps on both sides of the ball. I like the Toronto Blue Jays say. Minus 155, I actually think is a bargain too. I'll take the Blue Jays to get that sweep today and, move on and push to the playoffs because at All-Star break, they were trailing a couple of teams. They were outside looking in. I think it's a team that'll get there and they're going to start firing up. And today is part of that.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about Bello is the 2 outings that you just mentioned. They're both against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
And usually,
1 home, 1 away.
Right. Historically, if I had to sum up, just like close my eyes, like 15 years of looking at stuff, I don't like. I usually see like a pitcher will play someone the one time and then the second time they do the opposite. Usually if it's bad, it'll be better because they just maybe have game log or notes of the weaknesses of a batter and what type of 1 or 2 pitches to throw to get those outs that maybe they had 2 strike counts on, then they gave up a hit or something. What I like, and on that note, right, I'm not seeing that progression from Bello, but what I just mentioned, if you got something out of it, is you might see progression in the strikeout column, and you get 3 extra strikeouts on the second time around for Bello. So against a Rays, it was the first outing, it was 2 strikeouts. The second outing was 5, but then everything else was the same or worse. So first outing 6 hits, 7 hits the second, 4 runs the first, 5 the second, and consistent with 3 walks. So I would lean to the fact that I'm not going to put basically, let me say, I'm not going to have confidence and say, hey, today's the day we're going to get a real Bello show up and the stud that I may have expected, or whoever fan I am of this guy out of minor leagues or whatnot. I quickly looked through the bulk of June. He was throwing Ks down there, but he was giving up hits and runs. And if I looked at just the bulk of June and try to convert it to his first start into the MLB, I would project that he's probably going to get hit up. Because he threw some Ks, but you might not get those in the MLB. But if you're giving up hits and runs the way you were 3-5-5-3, things like that, you're going to probably do that or double in the MLB. In my opinion, it's not something to lean on, but I would expect that. And you kind of got that twice out of the Rays. So it's not far-fetched to think that the Blue Jays are going to do it. Now, sometimes the Blue Jays are inconsistent.
They are.
But you just mentioned the stat. They're showing up right now playing as if they're trying to adopt an NFL team in that city.
Yeah,
right?
and
point scoring. And when they get hot like that, I don't have a stat on this, but I feel like when they get on one of those type of trends, they don't stop. They just turn into this big Toronto hype train thing. And so they're not stopping today. They're going to, I just think that I expect the Blue Jays to definitely continue to try to put on a lot of pressure on Bello here. And it might be too much that even if the Red Sox were to start scoring, that they might have a uphill battle or just too much to put up with today on, just on this matchup.
And I'm glad you mentioned the offense of the Blue Jays. And yes,
right.
They did put up 4 touchdowns the other day. And you would think, all right, don't take a small sample size when you put up that much because small sample is going to be a little skewed over that one game. But let's go back to July 1st, which I think is plenty of data for us. They're batting .299 since July 1st, which is the top batting average in all the MLB. They're 3rd in on-base percentage. They're 3rd in slugging, 4th in OPS, 3rd in WOBA, and 3rd in weighted runs created plus. They are a top-notch offense for the past 24-plus days, even with the All-Star break. I don't think it stops today. They're one that's starting to roll. And then when you said that, you're dynamite. You're right on. And when you feast on a pitcher like this, I think that's just another decided advantage. So it's Blue Jays for me. And I know we've been betting baseball for a while, and there are times when you definitely, want to fade a sweep. But, sweeps happen quite a bit too. So we'll see what happens today. But I do want to flip to one other game. And I don't know if you've been checking this one out, but we got a short series with the Twins and Tigers. And what really caught my eye on this one is Sonny Gray is pitching today. And we can all look at Sonny Gray, and we can get some times when we do want to attack him. But playing the Detroit Tigers is a day we want to actually support him and ride him, because he had one start against Detroit this year, 7 innings, 2 hit ball, no earned runs, 10 Ks. 10 Ks out of Sonny Gray is ridiculous. Completely shut them down. And then when you look at the road splits, as you talked about earlier, Tech, when you look at Blackburn in his home, Sonny Gray's about a half run better on the road, 3.3 ERA when he has a 3.7 overall. And then on the flip, you got Ronnie Garcia going, who has seen the Twins twice, pitched 9 innings, allowed 8 earned runs. He's 0-1 overall against them. So, again, we're getting that margin. And if I look at a team that I expect to create some gap in the second half, it is the Twins in the AL Central. I do not think much of the Guardians. I think they're an average team at best. And the White Sox, we've already seen, are pretty much a shit show. Sometimes, they get rolling. Sometimes they don't. Yesterday, they get down 4-1, tied at 4, and then find a way to blow it. They just – that team – I think the Twins are the superior team to AL Central. Feast on the Tigers. I like Sonny Gray. A little pricey, 165 in some spots, but I think it's enough. Twins are good, man. And when they're fully healthy now with Reyes, Kepler, Correa, Buxton all in the lineup, they're tough.
Yeah, I saw this yesterday real quick to see today's starting lineups. I just don't have much faith on Garcia.
No.
And that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I was trying to see if there's just anything that sticks out or just anything, on the fly besides that you might not have covered it. I'm with you. The Twins don't strike out as a team, and that's right. And that actually goes back with the Toronto real quick on the prior statement, prior picket, 20.7% as a team striking out.
That's great.
I just think that goes into a favor today for them when they're hot. And that's probably one reason why they are doing well this series. Now going to the Twins, they're at 20.4%. So they're actually striking out less than Toronto. And that's in their favor. Dude, 329 on base percentage, 331 WOBA, 169 ISO, 260 is team batting, which might be the highest in the league at, give me a second here, third highest in the league, team batting average at 260. First is Toronto at 266. Now you get a hard hit percentage as a team about 42.3%, and a barrel percentage near 10 at 9.4%. And that matters, man, because the ball's different this year. And they're almost walking as a team at 10% with 8.5. So now as I just go over this on the fly with you, I like Minnesota here a lot as an offense today to face Garcia more than I would like Detroit on offense to face
Sonny
Gray. And now, obviously, that's where some of the pricing is. It's expensive, but everything is expensive this year. But the pricing aside, I'm with you here. I do think that the better side here is backing Sonny today, specifically in the Twins, and instead of the other side.
Yeah, and hey, I mean, dogs are winning. We've talked about it before. I don't always lay on 2 favorites that easy, but today just seems like there's a lot of margin in the starting pitching, and actually the teams. We don't have as tight of a matchups. There's some later matchups that are a little tighter. If I was going to lean a dog for those out there that love, to take a dog, I would lean Washington right now. Washington Nationals going into that game. I think they have a little bit better of the offense, and I think that's a coin flip. I'll take a plus 110 on a coin flip. So if I lean the dog, it's the Nationals. And one other prop play, I always like to give out a prop play. Look for Sandy Alcantara today. Look, everyone's catching on that the Marlins are like, I don't give 2 flying you-know-whats. We're going to just pitch this guy till his arm falls off. And now they've bumped up the outs to over 21.5. So he's got to go 7 1/3, right?
Right.
Good news for bettors. It's plus 130 to go over 7 1/3. 6 of his last 8 starts have gone over 7 1/3. Now, like 12 in a row, he's going over 7. But so they added that hook onto it. But I don't care. You're getting plus money on a guy that's going over that 6 out of 8 times playing the Pirates. I think Alcantara is just a beast. I don't care about the strikeouts, right? You want him to get the innings and eat up the outs. So I would lean the outs. I think he's going to pitch well against Pittsburgh. I always like lefties against Pittsburgh for strikeouts. Righties, they tend to attack and swing early. So those are the other few tech I like. Is there anything else out there you like?
No, I'm just keeping it very slim down right now. We've been, believe it or not, we've been touching a lot of NPB Japanese baseball in our room, and it's been doing well. Because to sum it up, you look at the data, and you see the data correlate on the field. You don't more than not. And MLB, I feel a lot of times we're going in with we go with the same data, but we're still not sure if we're going to get the outcome. I have like a 30% more. I mean, I make bigger bets in the NPB, and I sleep through them. So.
Hey, Javon, thanks for checking in. Hey, if you haven't checked out Javon, he's awesome with his prop bets too. He locks in NBA, MLB. Love following his stuff for sure. But yeah, if you're going to get plus 130 odds on an outcome that's happened 75% of the time the last 8 outings, I'll take it. Does it hit? Maybe, but I do definitely like it. But yeah, bud, you're right. There's been a lot going on, and definitely we're locked in.
Remember, Pittsburgh striking out very high. Oh, hold on here. Let me filter this thing again.
So they used to be the top 2 or 3, but a lot of that's skewed towards lefties. I think righties, they might be like 10th.
Yeah. Somehow this overall, the 4th highest in the league striking out.
Yeah.
24.2% just overall.
Yeah, and Alcantara is nasty. The books aren't catching on. Today's the first day I've seen them go 21.5 because they're definitely scared of him. But it's all good to me. That guy can go 9 if he wants. They're going to pitch him 110 pitches.
I like that thought. I never, I personally don't look at the out bets. I know you guys and a lot of folks do, but just on the fly, that math it checks out. And like you said, 75% trend to give plus 130. There's things in life. There's things in life like I don't. It's dangerous what I'm about to say. There's stuff that I would bet on, and you don't even have to tell me if it's turtles or a game or baseball or crayons or like something.
Yeah.
But if you're just showing me like a trend and the number, I'm like, you got to just do a little bit on there because that's math. It's so it's one of those.
And that's really like just as a quick aside. I know you play this game too, but that's really where there's value, right? You look to bet the math and the expected value, or the EV, as we like to say. If you think it's a coin flip 50-50 and you're getting plus odds on someone, even if you don't win, you bet it more times than not, you're going to win in the long run. So, I'm with you.
You're getting the lowest run total projection today out of the Pirates at 3.06. Let's say that was to be true. I mean, you could tell me that Alcantara is going to go that 7.5.
Yeah.
That's
all we need.
That's all you need.
All right, bud, that pretty much wraps it up for another day on Heat Ratio. We'll try and keep this rolling on Sundays for sure. And, we're getting the football season. I know me and Tech will definitely dive in.
Yeah, we're going to – hey, I'm ready. If you're ready, I'm ready.
We are. 45 days away, man. We're going to definitely start – we'll start hitting a lot of stuff on football, but we'll ride the baseball wave as we got it here because we are – we just love baseball, America's pastime, and it's going to get good come September for sure with all this, the third wild card. A lot of games are going to mean something coming that last month.
Yeah. So I might be attacking the Dolphins a lot this year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, so I'm torn on the Dolphins. I like the new coach, but I'm not sure they all mesh well.
Lines out of hype in the beginning, and we can get some nice easy wins.
Yeah,
we'll see.
The team I really am starting to. I might be buying in too much to them. I'm buying into the Raiders a little bit. Just a little.
I was too after the receiver signing recently. I know,
too. And I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm not all danger rust up. I don't know if he makes the Broncos that much better. I know he's a great quarterback, but
it might work. I was on that big train. I kind of stopped thinking about football for a little bit, and I got to gear it back in. But I was one of those guys that got hyped on, like, man, if Russ goes to Denver, they might be able to make a run.
Yeah,
because they have good defense.
They do, but then you got to go through, the Chargers, the Chiefs, and now the Raiders with that offense. We'll see.
Absolutely. You got to remember, the Raiders are in Vegas now, so we're not going to be, it's got to be high octane. Everything's got to be high paced.
It has to.
A lot of live bets got to come through that city.
Yep.
So maybe some overs is something to look at there too again.
Love it. All right, brother. Until next week, enjoy your Sundays out there. Enjoy the heat. Cool off. Win some money.
Yep. Good luck.
We're out of here for today. That's Tech. I'm Gloeck. Deuces.